Hello students, Miss Reuter here, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. It is my favorite kind of day, and that's because it's a sunny day. Do you like sunny days? What makes a sunny day a sunny day? Usually it means that the sun is shining brightly overhead and there aren't a lot of clouds covering it up. You can see the trees making shadows on the ground. And it's nice enough that if you don't have to wear a jacket, you can feel the sun warming your arms. I love that feeling. You may remember from science class that we were talking about the weather before we left school. And now I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the weather and about the sun. I am not exaggerating when I say that the sun is one of the most important things to us in our whole universe. Without it, we wouldn't be here. Us humans here on Earth need the sun to keep the planet warm. The sun warms our whole planet. And without the light from the sun, we wouldn't be able to see. And believe it or not, that same warmth and that same light is what provides food for all the plants to grow and live and give us food. The sun is very, very important. I have a song that I'm going to play for you guys. First, I'm going to start it out just playing the song regular so you can remember what the tune of the song is. Once you know the tune, you can help me sing along. Then later on, when we learn more facts about the sun, we're going to add those to our songs. This song is called Mr. Sun. I love that song, and I love the sun. Before we add more words to our song, I'm going to read you a book that I write. It's called The Important Thing About the Sun. Let's get ready to learn more about the sun. Hi friends, we're going to read a book together, and the title of the book is called The Important Thing About the Sun, and the author is me. But here's the deal. On every single page is the sentence, "The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up." So as you're listening and you hear that sentence over and over and over again, I want you to start to say it with me. Let's get started. Have you ever played outside on a sunny day? Have you ever felt the way it warms your arms or the monkey bars on the playground? The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when you first wake up, it is still not very bright outside? The sun slowly rises in the east, and little by little, the sky gets brighter. The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. Have you ever seen a beautiful sunset? The sun has been shining on everything all day long until it sets in the west just before bedtime. The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. A little girl was playing in her yard after soccer practice, and she forgot her water bottle outside. What do you think will happen to the water in the water bottle? Before you answer, remember, the important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. The sun set and she left her water bottle outside all night. The air was cool because the sun was not out, and the water in her water bottle was cool too. The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. The next morning, the sun rose in the east and began to shine on her water bottle. The water was still cool after being outside all night. But now that the sun was up, what do you think will happen to the water? The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. At noon, the sun was in the middle of the sky. It had been shining down on the water bottle for hours. The sky was bright and the air was warm. The water in the water bottle was warm too because the important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. The girl returned home just before the sun began to set in the west, same as she had the day before. She found her water bottle sitting in the grass. What temperature do you think the water was after being out in the sun all day? The important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. The girl took a sip and blech! The water was hot from the sun. And that's because the important thing about the sun is that it warms everything up. Here, if you look on this side of the page where the E is circled, that stands for east. In the morning, the sun rises in the east. At noon, it's directly overhead. And then, in the evening, it sets in the west. Thanks for listening. I hope you know more about the sun now. We learned a lot of important things from that book. We also learned that you probably shouldn't drink from your water bottle if you left it outside all day. Yuck. Now I'm going to add more words to our song about the sun. And if you can figure them out, sing along with me. Light, light, the sun gives us light. Without the sun, it would be dark. Light, light, the sun gives us light. Without the sun, it would be dark. We need the sun to be able to see. The sun gives light to you and me. Light, light, the sun gives us light. Without the sun, it would be dark. Heat, heat, the sun gives us heat. Without the sun, it would be cold. Heat, heat, the sun gives us heat. Without the sun, it would be cold. It warms the water and the air. It warms that spot right over there. Heat, heat, the sun gives us heat. Without the sun, it would be cold. Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind a tree. These little children are asking you to please come out so they can play with you. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Hello, students. Today in social studies, we're going to talk about the economy. Can you say economy? Try it. Economy. The economy sounds like a big grown-up word, and don't get me wrong, it is. There are still things I'm learning about the economy every day, but you all are very, very smart and you're ready to start learning. When we talk about the economy, we are talking about the way that people use money. We're talking about how they earn it, like through their jobs, and how they spend it once they have it, and what they spend it on. Take a minute to think in your brain about these questions. How do people earn money? What do people spend money on? The economy is a big subject, but we can begin thinking about it by thinking about those two questions. Today we are going to talk about that second question. What do people spend their money on? Let's think about the way people spend their money. People spend their money on food they need to eat. They spend their money to have a place to live, like rent for an apartment or a mortgage for a house. They spend their money on electronics like their computers or their phones, and they spend money on getting the electricity to power them. They spend money on clothes and haircuts, medicine when they're sick, and gas for their cars. If they have children, they probably spend money on toys and school supplies. What else do people spend money on? When we talk about the things that people spend money on, we are going to use two different words to describe them. These words are goods and services. When people spend their money, they're usually spending it on either a good or a service. Now let's talk about what those two words mean. Goods are things that are made or grown that we pay for. We usually buy goods and take them home with us. If you can touch something you bought, hold it in your hand, and take it home with you, then it's probably a good. Services are actions that people do for us, that we pay for. If there's something we can't do for ourselves, so we pay another person to do it for us, that's a service. Let's visit Callie's lemonade stand to learn more about goods. This is Callie and her lemonade stand. She made lemonade and is selling it. People come to buy her lemonade. Callie is selling a good. It is something she made that people buy. This lemonade is a good. It is something that I can take in my hands and take with me. Now let's talk about services. A service is something that someone else does for you. Let me show you a service that I had to use just the other day. These workers are plumbers. The other day, the water would not drain out of my sink. I looked under the sink to see if I could do anything. But I can't. I don't know how to fix a sink. So I had to call a plumber to see if they could fix the sink for me. A service is when you pay someone else to do something for you. I cannot fix the sink in my house by myself. The plumber is fixing it for me. He gets paid to fix the sink. He is not giving me a good that I can hold in my hands and keep. What he's doing is providing a service. I'm going to show you some pictures of services. Do you notice what they all have in common? Did you notice what all those pictures of services had in common? I did. They all had people in them. That's because a service is provided to us by another person. A doctor or a nurse takes care of us when we're sick and can't take care of ourselves. That's a service. A plumber fixed my pipes because I don't know how to fix my pipes. A mechanic fixes the car because I don't know how to fix my car. Services are provided to us by people. Now you know the difference between a service and a good. If you have your packets with you that were mailed home, go ahead and get them now. There's an activity in your packet about goods and services. If you don't have your packet for whatever reason, that's okay, because we're going to go over it right now, so just follow along. This activity is about sorting the attached goods and services pictures. How can you tell if they are goods or services? This activity is labeled 1C and should look like this at the top. Instead of cutting these out and sorting them, let's just put a G next to the pictures of a good and an S next to the pictures of a service. I'll do the first 3 with you, and then you can do the rest on your own. Let's look at the first picture. It's a picture of a mail carrier. Is the mail carrier a picture of a good or a service? It's a picture of a service. The mail carrier is doing something for us. He's delivering our mail. He's providing a service. The next picture is a picture of bread. Is bread a good or a service? Bread is a good. You can go to the store, buy it, and take it home with you. The third picture shows a mechanic working on a car. Is that a good or a service? If you guessed service, because there's a person in the picture, you guessed right. If there's a person in the picture providing a service, that's a pretty big clue that it's a service. If it's just a thing that you can carry around with you, it's probably a good. I think you're ready to do the rest of them on your own. Just remember the difference between goods and services. Thank you so much for taking time to learn about the economy with me today. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have a great day. Bye! And now for a special message from Plumber Daniel about essential services.
As plumbers during this corona epidemic, we are an essential service. We are the people who keep everything sanitary. We are essential. That's why we are out servicing homes now during the corona epidemic.
Last month, we had to stop going to our school buildings and start learning from home so that we could stay safe and prevent spreading germs during this time. However, not everyone can stay home. Some services are considered essential. Essential is a word for something very important, and essential services are so important that we need them to keep our community healthy and safe. People who provide essential services cannot stay home. They have to risk going out for our sake. This includes doctors and nurses who take care of us if we get sick, garbage collectors who prevent garbage from piling on the street, plumbers like Mr. Daniel who keep our homes working, and delivery people and grocery store cashiers who make sure we have access to food. Now that you know about services, you probably realize how very essential some services are to our lives. Let's remember to say thank you and have gratitude for everyone providing an essential service, and stay home so we can keep them safe. Hello friends, let's do a little bit of reading. I am very excited to read this book to you. It is called La Princesa and the Pea. Part of the reason I'm so excited about this book is because it has words in both English and Spanish. If you don't know Spanish, you have to try to use other parts of the story to tell you what those words mean and make a good guess. If you know English and Spanish, well then, wow, that's amazing. It's really cool to be bilingual. So, another thing about this book is that I read a message from the illustrator. Can you say illustrator? What's an illustrator? An illustrator is the person who draws the pictures for the story. The illustrator said when he was drawing these pictures, he was basing a lot of the outfits off of the way people dress in Peru, or at least the way that the indigenous population in Peru dresses. Peru is a country in South America And when they are making clothes or textiles, they like to weave alpaca fur into their clothing. Do you know what an alpaca is? I think we can find a picture of one. Let's see. This is an alpaca. And they are very similar to llamas, but llamas are a little bit bigger. Let's look at a llama. So I think since the illustrator based some of these pictures off of Peru, I bet you there'll be pictures of alpacas or llamas in it. Now, there's one last thing I want you to think about while we're reading the book. I want you to think about whether or not you would be able to retell this story to somebody else after it's done. If later on today somebody asked you, did you hear any good stories today? I want you to be able to say, yeah, I heard a great story. Let me tell you. In the beginning, this happened. In the middle, this happened. But at the end, this happened. So after we're done reading this story, we're going to try to retell this story by saying what happened in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Let's get started. Thank you, Scholastic, for giving me permission to read this book. It is called La Princesa and the Pea. La Princesa and the Pea by Susan Middleton Elia, illustrated by Juana Martinez Nial. Being read with permission from Scholastic. There once was a prince who wanted a wife, but not any niña would do in his life. His madre was picky, she hoped for perfection. The prince was so lonely, in need of affection. But here came a maiden en route to her castle. I hope I can stay here if it's not a hassle. She winked at the prince, who fell for her fast. No matter what Mom does, I'll marry this lass. The prince said, come in, but his mother, La Reina, decided to test her. Would this girl be buena? Mama sneaked away to the royal jardín and found a small pea that was fit for a queen. She guarded the pea pod and took to the stair. If this girl is worthy, she'll feel that it's there. She placed El Guisante in the bed for their guest. She yelled, 20 mattresses, lofty request. The queen settled in with her box of bombones, while lots of strong workers came in with colchones. Uno was suave, dos was pequeño, tres was muy grande, cuatro un sueño. Several were pinstriped, some made of fleece. Others were dotted or checkered or grease. The queen ate her treats, the bed was stacked high, and right when they finished, La Niña came by. Here is your cama, a place you can sleep. Thanks, said the girl, I won't even count sheep. Meanwhile, El Principe practiced I-do's. He knew that this maiden was one he should choose. I like her, Mama, he said with a lilt. We'll see, said the queen as she fluffed up his quilt. The girl stretched her brazos and yawned with her boca. The bed felt so lumpy, like there was a roca. The little guisante was 20 times deep. Could it be the reason this girl got no sleep? She trudged down to breakfast, her ojos so droopy. And how was your slumber? La Reina was snoopy. Great, said the girl, if you like hard and lumpy. Oh, pobrecita, the prince said. You're grumpy. Their guest brightened up as she noticed the lad. Really, she murmured, it wasn't that bad. I, thought Lorena. How'd she detect it? Is she a real princess? I think I suspect it. She signaled her son that the girl passed the test. Drat, she had managed to stave off the rest. The prince soon proposed with a golden anillo. They married that week in the royal castillo. The queen kept her promise and threw a big boda. The bride wore a wedding gown stylish de moda. Excepto, they both said I do. And still to this day, the queen has no clue. The prince had put pitchforks and stones in la cama to help his true love pass the test of Queen Mama. The prince and his bride had hijos galore, one for each mattress, and then had no more. The end. That was a pretty fun story. Now I have Callie here, and she's going to help me retell the story by telling me what happened in the beginning, and the middle, and the end. Callie, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you think it would help you to look at the pictures to retell the story?
Yeah, that would really help.
Okay, why don't we go back and look at the pictures from the beginning and the middle and the end so that we can retell the story. All right, Callie, can you tell me what happened at the beginning of the story?
Well, in the beginning of the story, it's talking about how the prince has to marry someone, but the queen is very picky and does a lot of tests. And one day, a girl came by on the way to her castle and asked if she could stay. The prince really wanted to marry her.
All right, very good. So that happened at the beginning. Let's see. Can you tell me what happened in the middle of the story?
Well, the mom wanted to test her, so she put a pea under 20 mattresses for the girl to sleep on. So when she was sleeping, it felt all bumpy when she was sleeping. She didn't know what it was.
Did she get a very good sleep?
No.
All right. And then what happened at the end?
At the end, she passed the test and they got married and they had lots of kids, 20 for every mattress. That's a lot of kids.
That is. Thank you for telling me that story. Callie was able to retell me that story by telling me what happened at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. Thanks, Callie.
You're welcome.
Wow, Callie did a great job retelling this story from the beginning, the middle, and the end. If you look inside your take-home packet, you will see there's a paper that gives you space to retell a story by saying what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end. If you want to use this story that we just read, La Princesa and the Pea, you can use this story to draw a picture or write words explaining what happened at the beginning and the middle and the end. Or if you have a book at home that you would rather use, you can read that book and retell that story by saying what happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end. Thank you so much for reading with me. I'm so glad to have you here. Have a nice day.